Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like a dapper dawn, giving them all dressed like $1 million, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Oh yeah, everybody listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Steve Harvey. Oh, listen, Steve Harvey. Why don't you join me? Yeah. Steve Harvey. Get on, y'all. Better give me some eggs while I listen to Steve Harvey. Yeah, join me. If you're with me, help me say, turn your radio on. You gotta turn it on. Yeah, turn it on. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. So y'all can hear me on. Turn it up. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. Yeah. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn them on. Your radio on. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn them on. Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Steve Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. Y'all listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey. Man, oh man, got a radio show. Yeah, I do. God's so big to me, man. I just have to tell you about it. I can't help it. It's rather obvious to me how big, how good God is. He's absolutely tremendous. He's off the chain. You know, man, I wanted to share something with you today. You know, if you're out there, start your mission today. Why don't we all decide together? Better yet, let's just kill that because you don't. Just individually. Look, you listening. Everybody's got something that's on the table that they haven't yet attacked yet. What are you waiting for? Start your mission today. Stop the procrastination now. And if you allow procrastination to set in, then that allows then, which is a weakness, but that allows the devil then to just really do his thing. Because an idle mind is the devil's playground. So if you ain't working on your goals, dreams, aspirations, or visions, you just waking up seeing how today gonna go, or the devil, he got plenty for you to do. See, but if you get your mind right on your goal and your focus and your purpose, then you can go on about your business. Then when the distraction comes, you can catch yourself. Now, that don't mean you ain't going to fall prey to some of your distractions, because you will. But you will have a goal in mind, an aspiration that makes you go, hold on, man, I got to stay focused here, because what I really want, where I'm really trying to go, the thing that I'm really after, this new little thing that's being introduced, this don't fit into the equation. Man, let me keep it moving. Or you may step off the line for a little while. Like I said yesterday, the thing about God is he's so forgiving that if you get out of line, he'll hold your place. See, that's the real cool thing. A lot of people will do that for you, too. Like I said, if you're at the movie theater or you're at the amusement park and you're in a line and you forget something, if you politely ask the person behind you, hey, man, I got to run to my car, I left something, would you hold my place? Most people will say, fine, yeah, go ahead. And when you come back, they don't have a problem. See, your problem is you want to get out the line, go do something, then come back and just get up in the line further up than you were, or cut somebody. Now you got a problem, because see, everybody looking at you now like, oh, whoa, partner, where you come from? The line start back here. But see, the thing with God is God don't do that. God don't say the line start back here. God holds your place. When you make a mistake and you fall off the line, God holds your place. But if you ain't got no dreams, aspiration, if you ain't got no place, what he holding for you? See, I mean, he got a place for you, but you got to come to him. See, some people, here's what I'm saying. If you got a goal, an aspiration, a dream, and you fall off track momentarily, you can get back to that because God knows where you left off. Now, you may have to accomplish a few more things since you stopped for a long period of time, but God knows where you left off. You can get back on track. Look, man, this dream of being on TV since I was a kid, it got off track now. It got off track. I just kept it as one of the dreams. And in some real dark moments when it looked like it wasn't going to happen, all I was hanging on to was just a hope that one day it could. But that's what faith is really about. Faith is the belief in things that you cannot see. But faith gives you the confidence to keep hoping, man. Sometimes it just keep hope alive. Sometimes, you heard Jesse Jackson say it, just keep hope alive. Sometimes, man, it's just the hope. I was hanging on a hope. And I'm talking about when it got real ugly and funky out there for me, when it looked like I wasn't going to ever make it. And all of the facts was in and everything pointed in the direction you're not going to make it. You done really messed up this time. Then I sat there and I just hung on to the hope. But man, that's what I'm saying. If you got a dream or an aspiration, a vision or something, when you fall off track and you want to go get back in line, God holds your place. He knew I was off track and out of line, but he said, okay, here's where we stopped. You want to be on TV. Now, when you get it together and you quit tripping and you come and you turn to me, I'm going to hold your place, put you back in line, then we go and finish the journey. That took me a lot longer to get here than I wanted to, but then it was necessary because I needed all of them mishaps to happen to me along the way. So when I got on the radio one day, which I did not see coming, Steve Harvey got a radio show, y'all. That's why I say it every day. See, because of this radio show that I didn't see coming, now I have stories to tell. And I can tell you about me better than I can tell you about anybody. And I done been through enough where it's relatable, where enough people can go, man, that happened to me. Appreciate you saying that. That's what it was for. See, I get it now. See, at the time, though, I didn't like what was happening to me. At the time, I was really in total disagreement with God on a lot of stuff he was pulling off on me. But in essence, I was really pulling it off on myself. But through his grace and mercy, he kept me through all of my mistakes, all my bad decisions, all my miscalculations, all my misfires, all the times I knowingly stepped out there and did wrong. He forgave me. He said, because, man, if you ever come to me, I have a plan for you that is going to be far and above. It will supersede everything you've ever dreamed of. That's what I did. I just got sick of me, good and sick of me. And I turned it over to God. And then God started working. And here I am today. Now, is he through with me yet? Nope. Have I arrived yet? Nope. But guess what? The journey is cool. And then you know what I found out? That's kind of what it's like in life. If you done walked off the cliff in life and you ain't got no God in your life, it's like not having a parachute. You step off the cliff and you just free falling. Now that fall gets you closer to the grave, right? See, we all heading to the grave from the moment we're born. But the cool thing about a relationship with God is when you step off the cliff and you got God, he a parachute. You still going down, but it's a nice ride. You guide and you glide and you softly, you enjoying, you look around, you smiling, you're meeting other people along the way. You're floating over here to ski a little while. You over there at the beach for a little while. You mess around over here. You get to go out the country a little bit on your parachute and all that. And God just helps your descent appear more like a rise and more like a euphoric fall. Instead of not having no God in your life and you just walking off that cliff every day, free falling, ain't got no cord, you steady pulling, you hollering the whole way because you done messed around with yourself and ain't let God come into your life and provide a parachute for you. I would rather have a parachute since I got to jump every day than to not have one. God has been like a parachute for me. Ask me where that came from, I can't tell you. But like I always say, most good things that happen in my life that I can't explain, it's usually him.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your undivided attention, please? This is the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Excited to be here because it's morning. Excited to be here because God has allowed us to live to see another day. Excited to be here because, well, to put it mildly, if you ain't here, where would you be? I kind of like it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ever grateful Steve Harvey Morning Show. This show is dedicated to all people out there who are grateful and who can find something to be grateful for. Shirley Strawberry.
Oh, just grateful to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good morning, Steve.
I love that. Very grateful. Thank you for that song intro, Steve. Good morning, crew.
Junior boy.
Morning, Unc. I'm grateful to be here so I can be upset about my team performance.
Well, I'm still in Ghana, so I can't watch football. They have no football here, and they have no NBA, so it's great. I mean, they got a program over here in Ghana, but I can't watch nothing, so I don't know the score. I don't know who winning, who won. I don't know where nothing is. Nothing. Help me, Lord Jesus. Nephew Tommy.
Top up the morning, Uncle Steve. I am grateful, and when you get back, we're going to let you know what your Cleveland Browns been up to since you don't know.
Ooh,
you have
what
no
they been
idea.
up to.
We're going to tell him today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big fight on the field with the Pittsburgh
Oh, my
Steelers.
God.
Now, that was Thursday night.
Yep.
I heard about that. I was online and caught it.
I'm talking about acting
This
just
fool,
like
now he ain't playing the rest of the season. Now.
And he out the rest of the season.
And maybe next year.
Once again, Texas A&M. Once again.
And, nephew, you have something else to tell us, too, don't you? While you're such in a good mood.
I took a shower yesterday, boy. Woo. It felt like Shawshank Redemption. Y'all should have seen me, boy. Y'all should have seen me. I'm clean now.
Hey, Tommy.
Huh?
Now, I've never done this before, but Jordan got hold to a cell phone and called me.
Oh,
My
his
Jordan?
son?
Jordan.
Your nephew?
Yeah. He said,
What'd
Uncle
he say?
Steve, you got to do something about my damn daddy. His funky ass need a bath.
He did not say that, but that was the sentiment, I'm sure.
I said, damn, Jordan.
Yeah. You have to do something. About
He
my
texted you
daddy.
all that, though, Steve?
Oh,
No,
man.
I told him.
It's
He-
unbearable.
they quarantined me. I was completely outcasted away from them.
I'm bad.
Oh, man.
Wow.
When the baby get on the phone.
What did you say, Steve?
I said, all right, Jordan, I'll handle it.
Thank
I
God.
didn't want him to know I ain't had nothing to do with it. He was calling with such hopes and expectations.
Yeah.
So I had to get a little dude something. You know, he's such a cold little soldier. I said, hang in there, man.
Give him
It'll
some
make you
hope.
stronger. He said, I don't want to be this strong, Uncle Steve. Well, you got to be for your dad.
Oh, man.
I said, Jordan, your daddy's strong, ain't he? He said, too strong. I said, that's how strong you supposed to be.
Oh, man.
All right, well, listen, coming up at 32 after the hour, we'll do our weekend review, find out what the crew did over the weekend. That's coming up right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
So, Steve, it's time now for weekend review. We're going to find out what happened over the weekend. We know Tommy finally took a shower after his shoulder surgery. He wasn't able to get in, so finally he took one.
I am
Praise the Lord.
currently in Ghana, still here,
Jesus.
taking a lot of meetings, setting up everything. I really came here to promote for the Ghana families, for Family Feud, that starts taping. And so we were a little slow getting the Ghana family, so I came over here and did radio and TV. It got us everything we needed. Boom, Ghana families are in. Because they just couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. And so I took care of that. Then I had some very, very important meetings around other business that I'm involved in over here. It's just been a great trip. So I went out to oil rig on, what day was that? We went Thursday? I believe it was Thursday. Went out to the oil rig. Wednesday or Thursday, I went out to the oil rig, celebrate with my friend. He's the first African or African American ever to strike oil. And
wow.
No,
Okay.
no, I mean, listen to me.
Yeah.
No,
That's big.
no, he is one of the big boys now. And 38-year-old dude, educated at Howard University.
38?
38, man. 38 years old. Got educated at Howard University. But he's from Ghana, and he came back home with his education. And he bought an oil field, oil block, where they told him there was no oil. BP is on one side of him, and another oil company is on another one. And they told him it wasn't oil, and he believed that it was. He hired, believe this or not, man, 2 brothers from Houston.
Really?
These 2 African Americans from Houston. And they came over, and they believed in him. And he hired an office full of Africans, man. You know, it's a multicultural office, but most of his employees are African. And they believed in him, and they found oil. And he hit it.
Wow.
And wow. That's all I can tell you right now. Because later today, we're with the president's office here in Ghana. And so we have some things to settle with that, and I can't say any more about it, but that's what's been out there. I've been on my first oil rig ever. They need an elevator on the oil rig. I don't know who the hell built these things. And it's 17 floors, man. 17 floors on an oil rig. But an oil rig now is very different from what I thought it was. You know, like off the Gulf, you think an oil rig is these stations that's built, these platforms that's built with housing quarters on them, and they drill all the way down to the seabed and build these rigs from there. It's different now. There are actual ships, and the ship has a hole in the center of it, and the drill goes down through the center of the ship.
Oh.
And so you live on a ship, and the drill goes down through the center of the ship.
That's amazing.
And that's how they drill. And man, can I tell you something else I learned? This trip to Africa, when I open up the door and I've met with I meet the Ashanti King on Thursday, King of the Ashanti nation here in Africa, the largest nation. Do you know that Noah, first of all, Muslims believe in Noah's Ark. Islam talks about Noah's Ark. All religions acknowledge that there was a Noah's Ark. You understand that? Noah had 3 kids. His children started the Ashanti Kingdom. That's what I learned yesterday. I'm going to open up everybody's eyes to the true history of this world that's been kept from us. And everybody acknowledges that. They just won't write about it. But Noah's 3 children started the Ashanti Kingdom. The African nations were started by 3 of Noah's. From Noah of the Ark in the Bible, that's where the African kingdom started from. The Ashanti Kingdom was started from Noah's 3 children.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Because that's common knowledge.
All
over
right, history teacher.
All right.
Oh, I'm over here learning, man. When I leave here, I'm going to unveil this on my website of all that I'm learning over here, to share it with everybody and to get African Americans really, really keenly interested in coming, first of all, to Ghana, to see these slave castles so you can understand what happened to us. And then I have 2 other stops. I'm working with the tourism boards right now to put it together. It's a non-revenue trip for me, but it's a learning trip. I want people I'm going to put it together as economically possible, feasible as I can, and it's going to be a great trip for people to come and take and witness and partner with 3 countries in Africa that I've been to that I think would give you a look at the total experience in a 2-week period. That's what I'm working on.
You think if I start drilling in my backyard, I might hit something?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
You sure will.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
But don't do it with that bad shoulder.
Yep. Yep.
I'm gonna start
No,
this evening.
do it.
See if I
No,
can
do
get
it
something.
now. No, you should, man.
On
You
the break.
should do it. And let me film it.
We
It's
need
going to be a one-sided
Yeah.
drill.
And Tommy, if you hit, can I have 5%? Just in
Oh, that
case
ain't
your
nothing.
stupid
Man, I
ass
get it.
hit.
Yeah.
Oh, just in case. So you kind of believe in him, Steve?
No, I don't really, but a fool sometimes.
You
though.
never know.
Things,
Yeah, you'll never know, so I don't want to write him off.
Right.
Things
That
happen to
man
stupid
wasn't
people.
nothing there. They told him it wasn't nothing there.
That's right.
Right. Right.
They told your boy wasn't no all there. He got all now.
They sure did, man. They sure did.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, coming up next, it is Monday. Reverend Motown Deacon Def Jam in the building right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, our family member, Stephen A. Smith, has a lot to get off his chest. He's going to be here to talk about the big trending sports news, the Colin Kaepernick workout. Was it all a publicity stunt? We'll ask Stephen A. But right now, you know what time it is. It is Monday. Reverend Motown, Deacon Def Jam are here with church complaints. Let's go.
Gracious old Father,
Open it up right now. Open it up right.
we come to you on a bended knee,
That's right.
asking for your fervorosity
Further.
and your controlity to manifestify the things that are happening in our world today. Church complaints coming from the bidifical, Trandificus, Deacon Def Jam.
I don't know how to accept my greeting, but all right.
You
Pastor.
accept it as it is, as in the Bible. Come as you are,
All
and
right.
that's how you is.
All right. Well, let's just get down to it. Let's just be understood. These are not my complaints. These are complaints from the church.
Well, you the one bringing them, man. Just like in the movie Godfather. What did the Marlon Brando tell Sonny? Whoever bring you the bad news.
Okay.
Okay.
The messenger.
Here it is.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
I didn't know he saw
Know
that
your
movie. But anyway,
movies,
Pastor.
Mr. Texas A&M graduate.
All right. Well, that's Tommy. That's not me. I'm different. Stay with me. Stay with me. I try to teach you this. Here it is. Sister Ernestine Blaylock got upset at the church gala this past Saturday night. She said the prime rib didn't have any seasoning on it, Pastor, and she pepper sprayed it right there on the table. I guess she thought that was going to get us some seasoning. There were 8 members hospitalized, and she sat there and ate her prime rib. What do you want to do with her?
Well, we're not going to do anything about that. I have talked to the cooks about putting seasoning on the food. Couple of them, but we have 4 of them that works at white hotels. And they brings them practices to our banquet. I done told them, quit running everything under hot water, setting it on a plate. So I ain't mad at Sister Blaylock. Maybe next year they'll add more seasoning. Go ahead, D.
All right, moving right along. Baskin Robbins will be dropping their ice cream chicken flavored sandwich on Thursday. They are expecting thousands to show up. Now the complaint is that Sister Moselle Rivers, she claims that it's her recipe, but it was stolen by Sister Barbara Hayes, who manages Baskin Robbins. She don't want us to march. She want us to go up there and fight come Thursday. Your call.
We're not involved in this chicken fight. You can't say that you got the recipe that flavors ice cream as that of chicken. That will not be able to say, and it's going to be a low seller. I'm going to just tell you that. What you're trying to do is do what Popeyes done did, and it ain't finna pop off like that.
Ice cream chicken sandwich, not going to sell.
Okay. No, don't nobody want that.
Okay. All right, whatever you say.
We don't mind cold chicken, but we don't want ice cold chicken with ice cream. On chocolate
that's
bread.
a lot.
How the hell that's
you just said.
that is an awful lot.
All right.
Cold ass chicken with ice cream on chocolate bread. Huh?
Right.
Yeah. Don't nobody want that.
Listen, Pastor, the shouting helmets and shoulder pads arrived this past week. It's your call on who you want to give them to. We only have 2 sets. We have 2 helmets and 2 shoulder pads. Who do you want to give them to in the sanctuary that shouts too much? That's up to you.
Well, no, we're not going to give them to the shouters. We're going to give them to the victims of the shouting. Skinny ass Pearline, she gets run over every Sunday by big ass Sister Jocelyn. We need her pads and helmets. And we need that new skinny deacon, Brother Shivers. That's always trying to stop the shouters, and he gets his ass knocked out every week. So them is the 2 helmets that we want to give out.
They to the victims.
The helmet and the shoulder pads.
Victims of
Ignorant.
They catching hell.
All right, here's a situation we got going on. Sister Kiva Deatra Phillips.
I got a visual.
Sister Kiva Deatra Phillips, as you know, she has 2 kids. Her youngest, Jacoby Phillips, is 3 years old. The boy already has a head full of gray hair and a full beard. She's asking for the church to pay for the doctor visit. But now, check this out, Pastor. Sister Dottie Little shaved the boy down and told her mama that we wasn't paying for that, and that she just got a grown-ass baby. That's what she told her.
So stupid.
Now, you can't just shave nobody's
like-
child down, Pastor, like that. That's not right.
Well, she's already done it now, Deacon. It's done. What do you want to do? And who did you say shaved the boy?
Sister Dottie Little.
Now, we've all seen Sister Dottie. Do anybody want that ass whooped? Let your church say amen.
Amen.
Stay shaved.
Let the
Go
boy
ahead, Deacon.
Do anybody?
Here's a serious one, Pastor.
Body
Sister
won't got
Sister Robin Crawford, who wrote the book, has written another book called I'm Telling Everybody's Secrets. And she said she knows where Tommy on Martin used to work. She gonna tell that. She also said she know who drank the last of the Kool-Aid, and she knows what really happened to Justice Smollett the night of Chicago. She's telling all the secrets, Pastor. The church wants to actually make a petition to stop her to doing this book.
No, sir. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to support this project and let the truth come out. Because I sure want to know the hell happened to Jesse that night. I want to know the true story behind him, them Nigerians. I want to know from Jesse how he was walking at 2:30 in the morning in Chicago, ice cold, to buy a damn sandwich. and managed to get back home with the sandwich after getting choked. Once you put a noose around my neck, I don't even have an appetite.
Right, Pastor.
So we need this book to come on out so we can find out about all these here things.
Coming up at the top of the hour, entertainment and national news right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, y'all, listen, as promised, listen up, everybody. As promised, joining us now, it's the star of ESPN's First Take and the star of the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio. I'm in Ghana. He been fired up. I've been hearing about it, about Colin Kaepernick, about the Myles Garrett, my Cleveland boys, what's going on. I had to find out, ladies and gentlemen, one of the brightest stars, most highly sought after, most compelling voice in all of sports commentary in the world
Lord.
today.
Yes, Lord.
My friend, my frat, my homie, Stephen A. Smith.
What up, man?
Welcome.
What's going on, y'all?
Stephen
What's going on,
A.
y'all? Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to hear this.
Man, Stephen A.
What did he post
Let me just ask about this Colin Kaepernick situation. Explain to me what is going on. Did I hear it right from over here across the water? What was the T-shirt he had on? What the hell
What happened?
is Kaepernick doing?
To bring it home. This is my personal opinion. It was all smoke and mirrors. It was all a PR stunt by Colin Kaepernick. No matter what he says, he don't want a job in the NFL. He can talk all the junk he wants.
Oh, man.
I'm thoroughly convinced. It's just my opinion. I'm thoroughly convinced he doesn't want a job in the NFL. That's my opinion. Now let me give you the facts. Jay-Z reaches an agreement to, partner with the National Football League. We know the heat that he took from that based on the press conference that he had with Roger Goodell months ago. Since that time, from what I was told quietly, he's been about the business of marching on and making sure that Colin Kaepernick had the opportunity to return to the NFL. He ran in, according to what I've heard, to a few roadblocks in terms of NFL owners who weren't interested. Their mentality was, we've made over $10 billion in the last year. Ratings and revenue are back where we expected, if not better. And on top of it all, 4 of the league MVP candidates in the National Football League all happen to be black quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, and of course Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. Not to mention the fact that Russell Wilson is the highest paid quarterback, is the highest paid person in the National Football League. So ultimately, Jay-Z and Rock Nation and those boys with the mind said, look, this is a priority. They get Roger Goodell to jump on board. The league teams in the league were looking for cover because their fear wasn't that Colin Kaepernick wouldn't be able to play. They knew he would be able to play, but the interview was going to be everything. What level of interest did he still have in playing football? How good was he going to be, et cetera, et cetera? They wanted to ask him questions. Okay? So they wanted to use the NFL as cover because if the individual teams brought him in, their fear was if they didn't pick him and bring him on board, he could say anything about them. He could say that the process was unfair. He could castigate them. He could accuse them of various things. And individual teams were reluctant to place themselves in that kind of position where they were vulnerable to that level of heat. So the NFL obliged them and said, okay, for the first time in our history, we will conduct a workout. We will organize the workout itself. They spent about 5 or 6 days negotiating with the Atlanta Falcons, all right, to use their facilities, their personnel, video cameras, and everything else in between, state-of-the-art equipment, all of this other stuff. They said Colin Kaepernick on social media talk about he ready to go right now. So we notified them Tuesday at 10:30. This is the NFL. We notified them at Tuesday, all right, at 10:30 in the morning. We said, hey, this is what we going to do. Saturday at Flowery Branch, the Atlanta Falcons practice facility, about an hour outside of the city of Atlanta. We're going to organize this workout. First thing you heard was about, is this real? How many teams are really going to show up, et cetera, et cetera. Well, then Saturday comes. And what transpired Saturday? 25 different teams showed up to watch Colin Kaepernick work out. Most of them were brothers. A few of them are in the general manager's pipeline, meaning that they may be next in line to be general managers. These are significant people.
Hey, Stephen A., hold on 1 second, man. Hold on right there. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got to take a break, but when we come back, we got more with Stephen A. Smith.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, we're back, everybody. On our special guest this morning is the legend, Stephen A. Smith, and we're discussing the Colin Kaepernick situation.
They all showed up to watch a live workout with Colin Kaepernick, scheduled for 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. What does Colin Kaepernick do? Saturday at 2:30, a half hour before the workout, Colin Kaepernick lets them know he will not be showing up to their facilities to work out. Instead, he's going to show up to a high school field 51 miles away near Atlanta Airport to do the workout with his own people. With his own people. Jesus. Now, he's trying to sit up there and say a couple of things. Number one, he wanted his own receivers. Well, the NFL capitulated to that. They said, okay, you can have your own receivers running routes, catching your passes. All of a sudden, he wanted the waiver. The liability waiver was an issue because essentially the NFL waiver stipulates that, just because we're giving you a tryout doesn't mean that we have to hire you. Okay, because what they didn't want to do was position themselves for a workers' compensation claim. Also, we don't want to be in a position where you believe you have the right to sue us just because this workout doesn't materialize something, which is a standard waiver given to every unrestricted free agent. Yeah. So all of a sudden there was pushback from that. And then last but not least, they were trying, his lawyers, Jeff Nally and those guys, were trying to say that videoing it was a deal breaker because they didn't want the NFL videoing the workout. They wanted to be able to do it themselves with their cell phones or their cameras, as opposed to the state-of-the-art equipment that the NFL has and the Atlanta Falcons has, where you got cameras on goal posts and poles, for crying out loud. You got cameras everywhere, okay? So he didn't want to do that.
Stephen A.
Okay, Stephen A. Stephen A. Why? Okay, y'all, hold on. We'll be right back with more Stephen A. right after this. We got to hear the rest of this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, we're back, everybody. On our special guest this morning is the legend, Stephen A. Smith, and we're discussing the Colin Kaepernick situation. So
what does the NFL say? The NFL said, that no, not only did we promise you we're going to send our tapes to all 32 teams in the league, but we promised to hand you the raw footage of the workout, plus 25 different teams are in attendance to watch you raw. What's the problem? Colin Kaepernick and his camp used that as an excuse to back out. And last but not least, not only did he go to the workout 51 miles away, not only did he notify them not up until a half hour before his workout was to begin, pushing it back to 4 o'clock, knowing good and damn well what Atlanta traffic is like on a Saturday afternoon, trying to get 51 miles away. But on top of it all, once he gets there, all those fans that you saw there, okay, were wearing Kaepernick T-shirts, I'm with Cap, or shirts that said, I know my rights. There was security there and his own personnel. And there was his own security there, and there was personnel there. So clearly it wasn't a last-minute thing because you have to organize it. And remember that the high school is a public high school. You can't just use their field without their permission. You have to call superintendents. You have to call public school officials to get permission to do all of that, which means that he knew what he was going to do. He had planned to do it, but didn't notify the National Football League until a half hour before his workout was scheduled, an hour away in Flowery Branch, Georgia. That's the story.
Okay, Stephen, here's my question to you. Why would he move the facility, in your opinion, from the designated spot set up by the NFL and not give them but a half-hour notice?
The easy answer is that clearly there's an extreme level of mistrust that even one would say is somewhat justifiable. He doesn't trust the NFL after all that he's been through, et cetera, et cetera. But you didn't trust the NFL when you were posting those workouts on social media. You didn't trust the NFL when you said that you're ready to play right now. You don't trust the NFL now when you're saying all 32 teams are free to call me for a workout. So my position is it's a ploy. Colin Kaepernick led us to believe that he really, really, really wants to play in the NFL. Now, one or two things are reality. Either he's full of it and he doesn't want to play in the NFL, or he's delusional because he thinks that he gets to do what he wants to do, when he wants to do, while he wants, or how he wants to do it, while having his hands out for somebody else's product and dollars. Okay. Which one you want to go with?
Okay, now, right there. I'm going to go with all. I need all three of those. I think all of those that you went with, because I was trying to understand the Kunta Kinte T-shirt. Kunta
There's no
understanding
that.
Have any of the rights and options that you just described that brother Colin Kaepernick has. So what's the Kunta Kinte shirt for?
No. Here's what you're missing. That was his way, one could easily surmise, of highlighting the fact that similar to Kunta Kinte, he is a laborer, a slave hand, being persecuted by the big bad NFL owners.
Whoa.
Once again, what I would say is this. Then why do you want to play for them? There is something called the Canadian Football League. I've been to Toronto. It's a beautiful city. Haven't y'all? I've heard Montreal.
Yes, I have.
Canada. It's a beautiful city as well. There's a plethora of places that you can go that are right near the United States. They have a football league. What's the problem? But you keep saying that you want to play in the National Football League while highlighting during a job interview that the people that you're going to be working for are racist in your eyes. That's what you're saying.
All right, y'all. Hey, hang on. Right there. Stop right there, Stephen A. We'll be right back, y'all. Don't go away. We're coming back with the rest of it.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, we back. Stephen A. Smith, the legend, is here, and we're talking about Colin Kaepernick. And Lord, are we talking about Colin Kaepernick?
Oh, by the way, can I ask him, may I switch gears and ask you all a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know Steve Harvey? All of y'all.
Yeah.
Do you know of anybody who's filed a grievance against an employer, settled, and then expected a job from them. I'm saying Steve Harvey and the Steve Harvey Morning Team. Are you all aware of anybody who has filed a grievance against an employer, settled for millions,
and went back
from that employer, and then expected to have a job from that employer?
Jesus,
Do you know anybody?
Jesus.
Not a one.
I just need help.
No
I need
one,
help.
Stephen.
No.
No one.
I am asking for the help of the Steve Harvey Morning, because maybe I missed it.
There is
Maybe
none.
I missed it. Maybe
No, you
I've
ain't
been
missing
living
that. We
in
can't
fantasy
help
land or
you.
whatever. Maybe I missed it.
We can't help you. You ain't missed nothing. We
So is this
can't
it?
help you. We don't know nobody that's had this second chance on such a scale over such an issue of such magnitude,
Well-
following any dramatic thing of sports,
Well, let me say this.
except Muhammad Ali. Muhammad
Let me
Ali had
say
a
this.
valid cause.
That's right. But remember, he was an individual. It was an individualized sport per se. And even though he was
Right.
participating in the sport, remember, his beef was that I'm not entering the armed services because, no
Understood.
Viet Cong ever called me the N-word and all of that stuff. Okay? And the government stepped in and banned him from the sport. The sport didn't ban Muhammad Ali. The government banned him. So
True,
let's be
true
clear
statement.
about that. But the other thing that I want to get to is this. I would ask the Steve Harvey Morning Show to be careful because we all smiling and we all laughing at how ridiculous this is. Did you know that because of that, to us, to some within our own community, we sell out? We coons and all of that other stuff. Did you know that?
Oh.
Did you know that that's what they're calling us
Oh,
as
yeah.
we speak? Because we
Yeah.
have the temerity, the unmitigated gall to highlight and point out reality. This is what I want to say for the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Okay.
Everybody and their mother knows Colin Kaepernick has been treated unfairly. Colin Kaepernick has been blackballed. We get all of that. What has happened to him was egregious. It should have never happened. Let's make sure
Absolutely.
we are all clear about that. What we're talking
Got it.
about is
Yeah.
what we're talking about is, but it happened. And the aftermath of it happening, you collected over $40 million as a player. You won millions of dollars with a settlement. Let's highlight that settlement for a second. He never told us what he stood for. We, to this
'Cause he
day,
can't.
don't know
He
what
can't.
you stipulated
That's-
with that settlement.
That was signed with an NDA. All
No,
settlements
the
come with
NFL.
an NDA.
That's right.
No, I promise
That's
you.
right.
I
Non-disclosure
promise you,
agreement.
Neither one of them could
Non-disclosure
speak of the terms of the settlement. That's a part of the settlement.
All I'm saying to you is he, to this day, has not talked. He did. Now, mind you, there's the same guy that wanted the media in attendance, right? He wanted transparency, right? Then he did his workout. Then after that, he turned around and he gave some "I Have a Dream" speech to the folks. And then after that, he didn't take. And then after that, he didn't take any questions. He didn't take any questions.
Didn't
And
speak to the media?
So no, he did. He gave his statement, his speech, and then after that, he walked away. Okay, and was
Wow.
taking pictures with the superintendent and some other officials. Let me give you an example. Not just
they
were
knew he was
20, and still with this workout, 8 teams showed up. 2 probably left early because it was only 6 near the end of his workout, probably because they had a flight to catch and they were right by the airport. And then also after that, the head of the Fritz Pollard Alliance, which exists specifically to address diversity issues as it pertains to the National Football League. The executive director, Rod Graves of the Fritz Pollard Alliance, was in attendance for that workout at Flowery Branch as well that Colin Kaepernick refused to show up to. The Atlanta Falcons was the number 1 team interested in Colin Kaepernick. They're the ones that
Wow.
put the event together. They hosted the event in Flowery Branch. They had their
Okay,
employees,
Stephen A.
everybody
Stephen
organized,
A.
and
So,
they were the ones that
here's
got snubbed.
okay, Stephen. Here's the question: 25 teams came to Atlanta, and you saying only 8 came out to the high school field?
That's right. They refused to go.
Wow.
So they found out
I
at the
mean,
last
I
minute.
understand that. I do understand that. I really do understand that. I mean,
Correct.
this is tough, and it's sad. What you're saying is sad of these opinions that we all seem to share and understand. I think the older you get and the longer you've been out here in this game of life, you understand the complexity of it a bit more. And I think you can go, okay, wait a minute, hold up, that don't make no sense. As opposed to some, I'm only saying some younger people who just want to be able to say and do what they want to say and not realizing that that's not the way life is set up.
That's not the way life is set up. And that was my argument with his friend Eric Reed, who got smoked by the Atlanta Falcons yesterday in Carolina. Now this guy, this guy is the first one. He's called out. Now this is the guy that challenged. It was upset that Malcolm Jenkins and the Players Coalition, he accused them of co-opting the movement that Colin Kaepernick started. So what does he do last year? He confronts Malcolm Jenkins on the football field during the coin toss, before the Eagles played the Carolina Panthers. This is the guy that called Jay-Z and his actions of partnering with the NFL despicable. This is the guy that has attacked me and disrespected me on social media over the weekend before I had to check his behind. Here's the reality of the situation. You are a guy, and Eric Reed, you're 27 years old, and if everybody doesn't march exactly lockstep in unison with you, their blackness is to be questioned. You, who plays in the NFL, collects a check from the NFL while calling them oppressors. You, who showed up to Colin Kaepernick's workout yesterday, but had to leave early to get back to Carolina to get your butt whipped by the Atlanta Falcons. You who plays in the NFL, you who plays in the NFL, you who plays in the NFL, and we all appreciate your efforts and the fact that you took a knee for racial oppression, police brutality.
Absolutely.
But racial oppression and police brutality didn't have anything to do with the National Football League. So you were not protesting the National Football League until they said, Colin Kaepernick, you costing us money. We got a problem with you. All of us have stood up in support of Colin Kaepernick. And what he and others who think like him will have you believe, because we got a problem with how Colin Kaepernick has gone about handling things since that time, you're trying to give the impression that we're against him when we were supporting him all along.
Right.
Who the hell is he? And who the hell is anybody that's like him to think that they can come at us questioning our blackness? By the way, him with his blonde hair and his dread. You got to be kidding me. You better go someplace with that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Blonde. Oh, no, you didn't do the blonde. Blondes have more fun. You didn't go that route, did you? Because blondes do have more fun.
Blondes have more fun. I thought that was females. I didn't know that was reserved for the brothers.
Oh, man.
And by the way, I'm talking to y'all now. I appreciate this phone call because I'm just getting warmed up. I'm about to go on first take at 10 a.m. You think I'm bad now? You wait till I get the hell on the air this morning.
On your microphone.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for that damn man, Stephen A. Smith.
Wait, what about Cleveland?
Thank y'all, man.
Oh, man.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And listen, if you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to Steve Harvey FM and click Submit Strawberry Letter, all right? We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now.
Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is, the Strawberry Letter.
Subject: I got more than her measurements. Dear Steve and Shirley, I'm in my late 50s and I'm still a bachelor. I don't have a problem meeting beautiful women and I don't have a problem getting the cookie. I own a carpet business, so I'm the person that goes to the customer's home to do the initial meeting and get measurements. 3 months ago, I went to a customer's house and she was gorgeous, had a very nice house, and she has her own real estate business. To make a long story short, we had sex the same day I met her her, and we've been together almost every day since then. She thinks we're dating, and I don't mind because she started referring her homeowners to me for carpet and other flooring needs. So she has been great for my business. I still had a few women on the side that I kick it with, but I was careful not to mess up things with my main woman because I didn't want her to stop sending business my way. Well, I wasn't too careful because I ended up messing things up. One crazy night, I had to go see a new customer, and when I got to her house, I was instantly attracted to her and vice versa. She invited me over for dinner the next night, and after we ate, we had sex on her couch. I was getting dressed, and I saw a picture of her and my main woman on the side table. I asked, who's that? She said, oh, that's me and my very best girlfriend. I almost passed out. But I played it off, and I left. I have avoided this lady since then, and I am so worried that she's going to tell my main woman about what went down, since they are best friends. It was stupid of me to not ask her who referred her to me before we had sex. Now I've messed up big time. Steve, should I tell my girlfriend what happened and swear it'll never happen again? What if this is all a setup? How can I fix it? Please advise. There's no fixing this. There's no fixing this. And yeah, I say this is from me. Steve is going to tell you something different. Go ahead. Tell your girlfriend and swear it won't ever happen again.
Jesus.
Go ahead and do that. You know, Steve, how you say that you don't care anything about this letter. You know, sometimes you say that. Well, this is a letter for me, okay? This is that one for me. I do not care. To the writer of this letter, you, sir, are getting just what you deserve. I have no sympathy for you. You're taking advantage of these women. You're taking advantage of this situation, everything. Yeah, they're having sex with you the first night. I'm not excusing them with that at all. But you're with this woman that you call your main woman. This is how you treat your main woman, by going around having sex with these other women. You know, you can say no. You can say no. You're doing these women, or your main woman, as you call her, to selfishly just get business and just get sex. I mean, you're trying to do this to get, you know, business for your cleaning company, for your carpet company. That's how I look at it. The only reason you're concerned that your latest conquest, the only reason you're concerned is because she's your main woman's best friend, and you might lose business, not because you might hurt her or might because you really feel something for her, any of that, you know, that a normal man, a good man would feel. You're just upset because you might lose business. That's crazy. Not that you might lose a good woman who's looking out for you and sending business your way, which puts money in your pocket. You're just concerned that, you know, that she's not going to send you any more business. So that's how I feel about you, how you feel about these women in the letter. It doesn't look like you care. You just care about the fringe benefits you get from your business contacts and your connections. So, yeah, go ahead and tell her. Tell her right now. Steve, I want him to tell her.
Jesus.
I definitely want you to tell her.
Well, okay. Well, here's the deal. First of all, this whole letter sums up in the first sentence. I'm in my late 50s and I'm still a bachelor. Period. Everything after that statement right there explains that statement right there. This is how you are in your late 50s and still a bachelor. And from the top of this letter to the bottom, you do nothing to gain any sympathy from anybody. You can't get no real advice from nobody because you ain't really asking for none. So, dog, I hate to tell you this, man. You don't have no problem meeting beautiful women, and I don't have a problem getting the cookie. Okay. I own a carpet business. How ironic this is, because I own a company called Wall to Wall Carpet Cleaning and Installation Business.
So you know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you be in all kinds of houses. I can count the beautiful women's houses I've been in on 2 fingers.
But you have 10 fingers, Steve.
Everybody else was somebody's grandmama. Obviously, I didn't have the same clientele you had. I'm going to get into this. And you went to a customer's house. She was gorgeous, had a nice house, had her own real estate business. Long story short, we had sex the same day.
All right, hang on, Steve. Hang on with part 2.
That's it right there.
Yeah, coming up, we'll have part 2 of Steve's response at 23 minutes after the hour. When we come back, Strawberry Letter subject for today, I got more than her measurements. We'll get back into it right after this.
You have no idea what it is. This is Carlos Miller, and this may or may not be the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, come on. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter subject. I got more than her measurements.
You in your late 50s, got a carpet cleaning installation business, Late 50s, still a bachelor. Ain't got a problem meeting beautiful women, ain't got a problem getting the cookie. But see, something wrong with you, though. Because you a bachelor still a bachelor. You said still a bachelor in your late 50s. So it's something wrong with you. Let's clearly know this. Because if you were that good of a man, some woman would have got in by now. But you don't want a good woman in right now. You've never wanted a good woman in because you want women. Let's just be real, dog. That's your thing. I ain't knocking it, but I'm just explaining to you yourself. So you went to this customer's house. She was gorgeous. You had a nice house. Long story short, she had her own real estate business. Y'all had sex the same day. Y'all been together almost every day since then. She thinks we're dating, and I don't mind. What? Dog, if you with a woman every day, how she don't think y'all dating? She thinks we dating. No, dog, you're dating her. No, dog, that's what you're doing. If you're with a woman every day, you are giving the impression, and not only giving the impression, you are committing the act of dating. So the woman ain't delusional. You just said you've been with her every day. And you don't mind that because she started referring her homeowners to me for carpet and other flooring needs. So she's been great for my business. Okay, so now you a user. You do women dirty. You get them on the stream. You're not honest and true with them. You obviously haven't told her about the other women, because I'll show you why you haven't done that later on in the letter. So you put women on the stream so they think you're dating, and then you don't mind because it helps your business. Boy, you a piece of work right here, man. I still had a few women on the side that I kick it with, but I've been careful not to mess things up with my main woman. This is your whole problem, dog. You the carpet cleaning player. So, you ended, anyway, you said I was careful not to mess things up with her. I didn't want to stop sending business your way. Well, you messed up. Because one crazy night, I had to go see a new customer. I got to her house. I was instantly attracted to her and vice versa. She invited me over for dinner the next night, and we ate and we had sex on her couch. This your M.O., dog. This is your M.O. This is what you do. This ain't nothing new to you. Now, when you got through, you getting dressed, you saw a picture of her and your main woman on the side table. I asked her, who's that? She said, oh, that's me and my very best girlfriend. I almost passed out. I played it off, I left. I've avoided this lady since then, and I'm so worried that she's going to tell my main woman about what went down since they best friends. It was stupid of me not to ask her who referred her to me. That ain't never been your problem, dog. Before we had sex, now I've messed up big time. Steve, should I tell my girl what happened and swear it'll never happen again? What if it was all a setup? How can I fix it? Well, if it was a setup, the setup is in and done. You slept with a friend. People don't normally do sex setups like this. Have sex with my man so I know if he'll do it. That ain't really how they set you up. They set you up by hitting on you. They don't set you up by giving you the actual sex. See, you stupid.
Yeah.
You kind of stupid, dog. Now, how can I fix it? First of all, Shirley said you should just tell her.
Yeah,
because then
tell
Shirley know it'll be over.
Yes.
Don't take your dumb ass in there and say nothing.
Tell her.
Your stupid ass gonna go in there and say what you already stupid.
How he didn't see that picture?
And let me tell you something, dog. Let me tell you something
Down
else.
the ground.
Come on, you
Don't
had a
you
carpet
always
business.
mess it up? Don't you always mess it up? That's why you still single. You in your late 50s single because you always mess it up. Because you ain't the player you think you are.
Hello.
You got a main woman with some chicks on the side because you keep making them think they your main woman. See, don't nobody think they their main woman unless you giving them the idea. Now, listen to me. They've told on you before. That's why you single. You've been busted many times before because you ain't that good of a player, dog. That's why you keep getting busted. That's why you still single. This is your MO. You stupid.
Tell her.
I'm ashamed of you.
Tell her.
Then just
Tell her.
degraded all the great carpet cleaning businesses in the history
That's
of
why
our
you
country.
mad?
And I'll not be a part of it.
Post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter at Steve Harvey FM on Instagram and Facebook. And don't forget to check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on demand. Coming up at 46 after the hour, Kanye West. We'll talk about it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Yesterday, Kanye West was in Houston. He went on stage at Lakewood Church to talk with Pastor Joel Osteen about his spiritual transformation. Kim Kardashian and their daughter North were also there, sitting in the front row. Kanye and Joel Osteen had quite the chat Sunday at Lakewood Church. And one of the big takeaways was Kanye going to bat for Joel and his reputation in the Christian community. Kanye noted that Pastor Joel was responsible for converting thousands upon thousands of people to the right path of Christianity, and for that alone, he should be praised instead of criticized. Kanye also discussed his 2016 mental breakdown, and he went on to say that he was the greatest artist that God has ever created, and now he was working for the man upstairs again instead of working for the devil. Kanye also visited the Houston Harris County jails and performed for them and brought inmates to tears.
I'm not mad at him. I think it's greatness what he's trying to accomplish. People have to keep in mind. Let's all keep in mind now that this is a new walk for Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
So in your newness brings a lot more obvious flaws with it because you're new at something. He's not a fully developed Christian, nor am I. See, I've been hanging on to my newness title for some years now because I like the newness title because that way it keeps me from getting put up into the advanced Christian category, which then puts me under a lot more pressure and scrutiny. I think the scrutiny that Kanye is getting is unfair. I think that he's a new person that's finding his walk with Christ, and I think the fact that he wants to do this should just be applauded from that point. The fact that he's not perfect should be expected.
Oh, what do you guys think about, we're going to change it up. I got to ask you guys this because this was kind of trending too, Carla.
No, Shirley, I hear them wanting to say something about it. I think because Tommy kind of went,
They kind of hesitated.
So you should let them have their opinion too.
No, I absolutely. Okay,
I'm not
go right ahead.
upset. I applaud him on this. I just remember his newness of being a Republican too. You know, I remember that. So I just have to sit back and watch. and watch it unfold.
The back and forth with the political stuff, the issue,
all
being
of that.
a Trump
Like, I ain't
supporter
forgot that.
is
I
the
ain't
problem you have with
forgot
Kanye.
slavery's
Yeah,
had
a
a
lot of people
choice.
do.
I ain't forgotten none of this. So I'm just looking at the brother. Hopefully he's getting it right.
National opinion.
That's the first thing you said that made some damn sense.
It's the medication.
Oh, is that why you shocked us?
Yeah, it's the medication.
Yeah, I think it's
go
the
back to
medication.
Tommy. My bad.
Yeah, that regular ass Tommy. You need to stay on Percocet.
Coming up at the top of the hour, some trending news. Soul Train Awards were last night in Vegas. We'll talk about it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
The Soul Train Awards were live from Las Vegas last night, and it was hosted by real-life best friends Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold. We just loved it, and they're such funny hosts. I love them.
They're cute together. I like
they
them.
really are. Yeah, they really, really are.
Who-
they know
who was
each
the
other so
host?
well. Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold.
Tashina.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
Pam and
that's
Gina from
Some
Martin.
bad girls.
That's good.
Uh-huh.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
They are both really, really talented sisters.
Very talented, yeah. They
They
act,
are,
they
Steve.
sing,
You are
yeah, they're
correct.
funny. Performers included Boyz II Men, Kelly Price, Queen Naja, also legends in the building, Morris Day and The Time.
Yes, sir.
Ow.
Get this one, though, Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle. Love that.
Wow.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me. Nominations included Chris Brown, Ella Mai, her, Lizzo, Beyonce, Normani, The Soul Cypher. That included Anthony Hamilton, Erykah Badu, and Carl Thomas. Nice. Oh, that was real nice.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
That's my
yes.
dude.
Yes.
Yes, Lord. Also, Babyface and Kirk Franklin were among the presenters. The the Legends Award presented to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Well deserved.
Weren't they deserving? Absolutely. Another deserving soul, the Lady of Soul Awards, was presented to the one and only Yolanda Adams. Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Yolanda.
Yes.
Yo,
Great
yo.
show. Great show, produced well. It was funny. It was fun. The music was great. You know, we loved the award show last night, but think back. What was your favorite performance on Soul Train back in the day?
Michael Jackson. What you talking about? 25th
Jackson
reunion. Come on. That's when that boy moonwalked across that stage. What we talking
That was
about?
Motown.
No, that was
Tommy.
Motown
Tommy.
25.
What are you doing?
That was not on Soul
Now
Train.
he off.
Oh, my bad.
Now he off the medicine.
Percocet.
He's
Are you-
back. He's back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It
yeah,
just wore off.
yeah. Percocet that wore off. But are you talking about on the show Soul Train? Greatest
Yes,
performance?
yes.
Average White Band live. Average White Band
Really,
live.
Steve?
70s. Oh, live. The Average White Band live on Soul Train. Greatest performance I've ever seen. The drummer was black. The Average White Band is from Scotland. Black people didn't believe that these was white dudes playing this music. So when they went to Soul Train, they told them they only do lip sync. The black dude that played the drums said, man, we got to play black. We got to play this music live for these black people. They ain't going to believe it's us. They plugged their instruments up and did it live on Soul Train. Greatest performance. I will put it on my website for you.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
I gotta
Huh?
say,
Nice.
I gotta say, probably
Okay.
Al
Shirley, you got one?
Green. Al Green when he had that sling
Yeah.
on his arm.
His arm. Yes. I remember that one.
Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, that was.
You remember that, Junior?
Aretha
Did you-
Franklin,
I'm
Rock
saying
Steady,
that's the
when
one
she
y'all
performed.
Think, y'all think.
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
think that's the greatest performance.
Oh,
on
Riri.
Soul Train.
But what about this one though? Aretha Franklin when she performed Rock Steady.
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
know.
Yeah, that was good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That was good. Maxwell
Junior,
was
why are
another
you
good
brushing
one.
off our moments?
Yeah. I don't know how y'all don't
He
put
wasn't
Levert
at
up
none
there.
of them.
Huh? What'd you say,
Levert,
Junior?
Levert,
Well,
greatest
that's
Soul Train
yours.
performance. That's hands down.
That's yours, and that's good. Yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
Ain't nobody mad. Yeah.
Everybody y'all said was great.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did Tommy
Well,
say?
some
Which one?
history
What was
there.
yours, Tommy?
He was talking
It's
about
Al.
Michael Jackson at the Motown.
Oh, Al
thought
with the
so.
sling?
Yeah, 'cause I
Yeah.
thought we
He
were talking
said-
about. But yeah, Al.
With that sling.
I knew all the commercials on Soul Train, partner.
Yes.
Sulfur 8. I knew everything.
Yeah. Afro Sheen, Ultra
Afro
Sheen,
Sheen.
Cosmetics.
I knew it all. We was cleaning the house at that time. What you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Every Saturday. You're right.
Saturday morning.
Back in the day. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Great memories.
All right, more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show and some trending news coming up at 33 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
It's time for our Tell Me Something Good segment, some news.
Tell me something good.
Well, some good news. Kim Kardashian West visited Texas death row inmate Rodney Reed, and she says she was with him when he found out his stay of execution was granted. The highest court in Texas has issued a stay of execution and remanded the case back to the trial court for further consideration. That is great news.
Kim Kardashian is doing
Fantastic.
some great work.
Yes, she is.
She is doing some
Absolutely.
great stuff, man.
Yeah.
Getting that sister out
prison
of jail, being a part of the prison reform bill, her Van Jones, people like that. Well, I'm just listing the ones I know. It's other people
Yeah.
behind the scenes that work equally hard, if not more. But those two notable people to step down off their platform to do something like that, I think, again, commended.
She said when Rodney got the news, he said, "Praise Jesus." And Kim, like you, she's just one of just a whole bunch of celebrities who have advocated for Rodney Reed, Rihanna, Oprah, Meek Mill, LL Cool J, Beyonce, and more.
Everybody,
They've all,
man.
they've all shown
Everybody
their
has.
support.
You know what? If Kanye would just stop talking politics, his ass could go a lot further.
That's all I'm saying.
That's just a
I
revelation
know,
hit up.
Tom. I'm trying. Just shut your damn mouth.
We have more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show coming up and some more trending news at 33 after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Being the traveler that I am, and being as knowledgeable as I've become over the years, that God has given me an opportunity to see some wonderful places around the world, my wife and I, and some of my family members, but mostly my wife and I. We've been doing this Sand and Soul. Now, listen to this, everybody. I want to talk to you about the Sand and Soul Festival 2020. I've been putting on this festival a lot of comedy, some concerts, empowerment, relaxation at luxury all-inclusive resorts. I've been doing it now for the past 3 years, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now, we just hosted this last year's event, and it was absolutely off the chain. Now, me and Marjorie was out on the dance floor with y'all. My girl was out there in the pool with Lisa Ray. I heard about that. That was not playing. Y'all was clowning out there in that audience on the Showtime at the Apollo night. And we just had a lot of fun, man. I mean, man, I saw some old friends. I actually bought down some cats that I went to college with, man. I had a real, man, I just had a good time, y'all. So, and what I want y'all to do, go over to my Instagram and my Facebook page, and I want you to check out the video that you can see what I'm talking about that I'm releasing from this year's event. But now, next year, we are all doing all of this, but we are going to add a couple of things. Due to popular demand, and we listened to our audience, they've been loyal, and so they told us what they want. So we've been doing some thinking, and we moved in, and we shift some stuff around. We adding an all-new sexy, all-white dinner on the beach with live music. And then this year, I've watched my clientele. I said, man, you know what would be slick? We love spades. We love bid whist. We love dominoes. I said, doggone it, Steve, while we down there clowning, when it get nightfall, we gonna have us a spade, bid, whist, and domino tournament with cash prize. Oh, man, we just going to sit down and do what we do. Marjorie's going to have an exclusive design items at her beauty bar. It's about to go down. But now I want to let y'all know something. We got the dates and the location already secured for 2020, so you can start planning early. The 2020 Sand and Soul Festival is headed to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Punta Cana. Man, for the Labor Day holiday. September 3rd through the 7th, we are going to the luxurious Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Punta Cana. We decided to go back. We've listened to our customers. We're well aware. Everything has been rectified. We've got great reports. Tourism board is happy about it. We are going back. All right, listen to me, everybody. Right now, you can call us at 1-800-684-2825. That's 1-800-684-2825. Now listen to this. We are running our early bird special right now through Christmas, all the way through December 31st. You can secure your spot.
Coming up, our last break of the day on this Monday. And, of course, some closing remarks from the one and only Steve Harvey at 49 minutes after the hour.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, here we are, our last break of the day on this Monday. And boy, it was a good Monday.
Well, Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith made my morning.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to talk about today, wasn't it?
He has an opinion, doesn't he?
Colin Kaepernick, man. I'm very disappointed.
Well, when you think he could have had a job. I mean,
yes,
he could have been playing again. Yeah, in the NFL. That's what
because it ain't about the money. You got money. You want to play.
It doesn't make any sense what he did. It doesn't make any sense to anybody who's a thinking person. Now, if you just want to make points just to be making points, if you want to be contrite just to be contrite, if you want to be difficult and you want to say that I'm doing it my way or the highway, then go ahead and do that. But don't say you want to throw a football for a team and then walk away from the 25 teams that came to see you. That don't make no sense. But you agreed to all of this. All of this was set up in a place. You agreed to all of it. Then they made the concessions about the not signing the waiver. They gave you everything, bro. I don't know what you want.
Nothing happened on Saturday that you needed to change your venue. Nothing. You agreed to all of that. You signed up for it.
Tommy, that's how they set it up. Yeah, and then you change your mind. So now instead of 25 people seeing you, 8 people saw you. Okay, you've reduced your chances 2/3.
Man, 80% of the league came to see you.
80, dog. How many teams is it, Junior?
32 teams. 25 out
of
that. That's about
80%.
80. Yeah.
80% of the league came to see you. You
but the other 20 didn't hear about the craziness.
Took it down to 30%. Boy, even less than that. A quarter, 25%. You moved it to where only 25%. Man, come on, stop. I'm ready to go. Come on, man. Hey, I want to share something with you. I'm in Ghana, right? And somebody sent me a Joel Osteen sermon. And man, oh man, he was talking about how God is your source. And this was really, really good for me yesterday. And it's an older sermon, but I watched it on YouTube. And it was so powerful what he was saying, man. And it was a really, really good reminder to me. And I thought maybe as a closing remark, it might be a reminder to you. That he reminded us that God is your source. God is your source of all good things, all great things that happen in your life, all the blessings, all the measures of faith and favor that you get. They come from a place on high as your source. Now, people are resources, but they are contracts from God. God sends people into your life as resources to give you a promotion, to give you some advice, when a bank gives you the loan, when they grant you the consent form, when they allow your contract to go through, when you finally make the sale, those people that he uses to say yes to you are resources, but those people come from the source. The source is always God. Behind all the resources is the source. So be grateful for the resources, but keep your eyes on the source. Keep God first, man. God is the source of all things. When a door closes, the source remains the same. God is the source of my life. God is the source of your life. As long as you invite him to be the source, he is your source. But he's your source whether you invite him or not. God does for you, gives you mercy and favor whether you ask for it or not. But you need to realize that he's the source. How many times has God spoken to a person on your behalf? How many times? I can't tell you how many times a person been just good to me. I never even met the person. Hey, Steve, I'm a fan of yours, man. Let me point you in this direction. Or, hey, Steve, let me turn you on. How many times has God sent a person in your path that was just good to you? You know what that was? That was coming from the source, man. Every good thing's come from God above. Keep recognizing the source. Don't ever lose sight of the source. That form of gratitude opens up your eyes of awareness to a multitude of things that God is constantly doing for you. See, the source behind the scenes tells people to be good to you. I know people that I was jotting down that are from God, that God has placed in my path for whatever the reason. And it's just him putting resources in my path so that the blessings that he has for me comes through sometimes the resources, oftentimes the resources, but the resources still come from the source. You cannot lose sight of the source. Show God that you got faith. Show him you got faith. Keep taking steps and trust in him wholeheartedly that he is the source. Because, man, let me tell you something. God has lined up everything you need. He sees everything you're going through. He's ahead of you on this one right here. God has already lined up what you need. Just go to the source, y'all. Supernatural things are about to happen. Supernatural things are happening in my life. I'm watching it. Keep looking to the source, y'all. Acknowledge God as the source. God has pre-prepared blessings for you. Go get them and just honor him and recognize him as the source. Those are my closing remarks today. That's it. Have yourself a great weekend. God loves you. Talk to him. In the meantime, bye.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.